Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of night number 42 of Big Brother season 25. A good Wednesday morning to all of y'all. All right, last night was a bit of a slog in terms of watching these feeds. No huge ceremonies had taken place during the day, so not a whole lot has changed. Here's a summary of what we had overnight. A lot of people talking on and on about who can we trust, who can we not trust. Should we vote out Izzy? Should we vote out Felicia? And it went on and on and on and on. 11 people in the house? And I feel like there were enough conversations for 15 or 16 of them. Yeah, it was a lot of talking, rehashing the same stuff over and over again. But that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to give you all the updates. I'll try to get through and hit on the highlights, the pertinent conversations, and not worry so much about the ones that maybe don't have as much impact. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, first of all, just as a reminder, y'all know this, right? Felicia and Izzy are on the block. One or the other is going home on Thursday, unless there's some kind of weird twist. Now, I don't expect it. One of them will be going home. Right now, it still seems like it's Felicia. I know there's talk about trying to flip it and all that. Just not sure it's there yet. I think the only absolute vote to send out Izzy right now is perhaps Nicole. It seems like she is supporting Felicia. Everyone else, it kind of depends. We got a lot of people like Bowie Jane who seem like they'd be willing to vote out Izzy, but also very well could just end up going with the house at the end of the day. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So now let's talk about the live feed, some of what's going on. All right, we had, remember Monday night, we'd had America had finally kind of put the pieces together about the other side, who their targets were, what the alliances were. She figured out the big picture, and we're all cheering. We're excited for her. She told Cameron about it. She told Jag about it. She pled with them not to say anything to the other word, to Jared, Siri, Izzy, etc., to keep it quiet. But she had it figured out. So yesterday, she said, please don't say anything. So of course, yesterday, Jag and Jared meet, and of course, Jag spills the beans and tells Jared, amongst other things, about his conversation with America, that America doesn't trust Jared. And that America thinks that Jared is coming after her, which is valid. That he thinks that America and Bowie are both working with Cameron now at this point in time, and that America and Bowie and Corey may not actually target Cameron next week if they were to win HOH and get the opportunity. So just be warned, Jared. You know, they may not be as solid as you think they are. Jag at one point says, it's got to be team first and individual second, while talking about the seven deadly sins alliance. Nah, that's not how it works, Jag. And didn't talk about team first, individual second. Wasn't the team the one that voted you out 10-0? Last time you were on the block, you got saved only because of Matt's power. But Jag is just solid in terms of his alliance to the seven deadly sins, even if that loyalty isn't being returned to him. Jag was kind of handed the golden ticket, I feel like, in a lot of ways by America when she explained this all to him. And here he is getting in his own way of playing the game of Big Brother, I think. So, yeah, he told Jared a whole lot of what America had just told him the night before. And I do think there are going to be repercussions. All right, we did have a conversation between Corey and Cameron. Cameron, again, pitching that he wants Izzy out. He realizes he probably needs to have Corey voting with him on that side to make it happen. So he's pitching to Corey. He's saying, look, I can see a path forward for myself, for you, for America, for Bowie, for Matt, and Jag. For the six of us, we're the majority right now. We could make this happen if y'all just want to work with us. I'd love to see these six working together. I just don't know that it's going to work. Corey and Matt just are so resistant to doing anything that could create issues with the other side. They're so scared that they become huge targets if they flip on Siri, Izzy, etc. But Cameron's making a pitch, and we'll see what happens with that. He's warning Corey about Jared. At one point, he says, look, I know over the last couple of weeks, I think your relationship with Jared has kind of degraded a little bit. There's a reason for that. And you've got to be careful when you're talking to Jared. And don't think that he's got your back the way you think you do, Corey. Corey's worried that if Siri and Izzy and Jared find out about this other group working together that Cameron's proposed, if they find out if one of those win HOH, that they'll probably target Corey in America as their first shots. And so again, Corey's just worried about the repercussions if he jumps ship and comes in here with Cameron and everyone else. Sometimes you just got to take some chances. All right, Cameron's saying that, look, here's the thing, Corey. Me and you and America, we are their biggest targets. You can just sit back and wait, and eventually maybe you won't be first. He says, I'll be first. And then maybe it'll be America. He said, but you're gonna be targeted as well. So you got to keep that in mind. So he's doing everything he can. All right, we've got Cameron and Jag talking a little bit. Cameron's again pitching that Jag needs to get on board and vote out Izzy. Cameron's saying, look, I know I'm the target. I know that they're going to try to backdoor me next week. But he's saying, who do you think's next, Jag? As soon as I'm gone, you're next. And he's right. There's been a lot of talk about boot orders, and Jag is always coming right up behind Cameron. So Cameron's trying to convince Jag of this. He's saying, look, the other side, they're trying to create trust issues between you, Jag, and myself. They're trying to break us apart because they know that that we need you over here on this side, and they're trying to keep that from happening. He's saying, we've had some issues with trust and all in the past. He's saying, but we don't have any choice. We need to work with each other. If we work with each other, we could go far, but we have to come together, or else they're just going to get me and then you, and neither one of us stands a chance at this game. He's telling Jag, saying, Izzy has told everyone everything that you have ever said to her. Don't think that you're tight with Izzy. She's using all your information and passing it on to everyone. So just be aware of that. He's saying that Izzy is a much bigger threat to everyone in this house than Felicia ever was. He says, Felicia, sometimes she's annoying. He says, but that's all she is. Izzy's the big threat in terms of her connections and all that. And he said, let's keep Felicia because she's not going to be as big a threat. She'll cook for us. There's a lot more reasons to keep Felicia in the house. All right. He is saying as well, he's telling Jag that Blue and Jared are invested in the core four, which I think he's referring to Blue and Jared, Siri, and Izzy. He's saying those four, Jag, they're loyal to each other before anyone else. They are certainly loyal to each other before they are to you, so don't think otherwise. He's saying that Izzy is the one who gets all the information for Siri, and then Siri and Izzy plan and plot and conspire and do everything based on the information that Izzy's bringing back to this group. He's saying that Felicia is on the block because Izzy said something, saying Felicia's on the block because Izzy says anyone except what was that? Oh, that's a Jag is saying, why are they why'd you put them on the block? And he says, look, Felicia's on the block because I wanted Izzy gone, and if Izzy was on the block against anyone except Felicia, then they would save Izzy. So this is my only chance to get Izzy out. And Jag says, well, what about Siri? He says, well, yeah, I wanted to put Siri up. That was my perfect plan, but Jared didn't use a veto, and so that didn't happen. And so that's why I put up Felicia, just to make sure that we can send Izzy out the door. So he mentions that. He is saying that he's being led to trust Jared, and Jag. He's being led to trust Jared, and that Jag is being led to trust Blue, but really neither one of them can trust either one of those two people because they're part of this core four that Cameron has mentioned. He is saying to Jag that if you tell anyone all this stuff, if you just go over and tell them everything, you're going to be a public enemy just like me. He says, for me, whatever, I'm already the enemy for them. They're going to send me out no matter what I do at this point in time. He says, but for you, if you start revealing all this stuff I'm telling you, they're going to come after you next. So please just keep that in mind, Jag. Telling Jag not to tell other people stuff doesn't always seem to work so well, does it? All right. He is saying that, talk about Matt. He's saying, look, we both love Matt. You do, obviously. I do as well. But Matt is being used by the other side. Yet another reason why we need to get rid of them, so we can save Matt from the forces on the other side. And then finally, he's saying, well, not finally, it's a long conversation. He's telling Jag as well, saying, look, why do you think they keep telling us not to talk to Cameron, not to talk to or why do you think they keep telling you and I not to talk to America or to Corey? It's because they don't want us coming together. They're so worried about us forming as a group and fighting the power that they've got on side. So he's saying, think about that, Jag. All right. He's also telling Jag that if he votes against Izzy, then that's the vote they need, that Izzy is gone at that point in time. saying that really it would not benefit either Jag or Cameron to have Izzy in the jury. Says if she's in a jury, we're not getting the confetti. That's just, she's not voting for us at the end. So we need to get her gone, not just somewhere down the road. We need to get her out before jury phase starts. He's also saying that America and Bowie and Corey are already on board, and that even Nicole doesn't want Izzy in the house anymore. So even Nicole is going to vote out Izzy when it comes down to it. So he's saying we've got the votes. We need yours, Jag, and then that takes care of it. He's hoping that he can also maybe get Jared's vote as well. Not necessarily needing it, but hoping he can get Jared's vote. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get Jared's vote, but he's wishful thinking, right? All right, he's saying that Blue has a pact that she won't vote out a member of the LBG. I can't even say it. It's not really more LBGTQ community. So she'll probably vote Izzy. So I said earlier about the votes. Yeah, he's thinking that Blue and Nicole maybe would both protect Izzy. So I don't know, but then again, he's saying right here that that even Nicole's going to vote out Izzy. All right, so I kind of gummed that up, didn't I? Basically, he's thinking Blue's the only person that may vote to save Izzy. All right, we've got Jag seeming to be understanding everything that Cameron is saying to him, but he just doesn't really seem to be sold. He's just kind of, oh, that's interesting. Wow, okay, I'll have to think about this for a little bit. Let me ponder this a little bit. So Cameron's laying it all out to him. Jag's saying he'll keep it under consideration. At which point Jag leaves, goes to the scary room where Siri and Felicia and Izzy and Matt and Blue are all laying around. I think Jared's in there too, but I think he may be asleep at this point in time. But they're immediately asking Jag, saying, "So what were you talking about? So a long conversation. What were y'all doing up there?" And Jag has said, "Well, he's pitching me against Izzy. He's wanting to be a vote against Izzy. Well, they all know that, so he's not really revealing anything at this point in time. But they're all soon telling the alliance, telling Jag that the alliance of 7, which is soon going to be 6, that they need to be strong. They need to be watching out, protecting each other if they're going to survive and go forward." Is Jag really falling for this after this is the alliance that all voted him out just a couple of weeks ago? And now they're saying we got to be strong with each other. We got to be protective of each other. They're all saying every bit of this just to gas up Jag. They don't mean any of it. And yet I feel like Jag is buying it. He so much wants to be part of the, I'll use a term, he wants to be part of the cool kids alliance. He was like that during the first part of the season with the handful and some of those, and now he's seeing the other side and wanting to do the same thing. So Jag, I think logistically Jag understands it. I just think emotionally he's not ready to cut strings with some of the people on this side of the house, and it may cost him. All right, after Izzy and Felicia leave, they both left since they're on the block. Everyone else wants to talk about who they're actually going to vote for. So the two of them leave. They begin talking about who to keep. Matt is probably, I think Matt's the first one to speak up. And Matt is saying, look, Izzy is much more loyal than Felicia is. She has a better chance at winning HOH. Now, Felicia has won an HOH competition. Izzy is not. But Felicia's was, I forgot what they call it, the ball, the random thing going down and hitting the pegs and falling into a number slot. So they're saying, that's not really what kind of competition. We're going to have a lot more going forward. And Matt's saying Izzy actually has a better chance at winning competitions going forward. She's more loyal. And he says, and Felicia has said a few things that, created little issues here and there. And Izzy really hasn't done that as well. So he's very much on board keeping Izzy. Siri is agreeing with Matt. Of course she is. And also talking about the fact that, Felicia has said a few things that almost caught us and all that. So we definitely have those two on board to save Izzy. And we know Jared is as well, and some of the others. Later, Siri fills Izzy in on this whole conversation, spends a lot of time talking to Izzy, saying, Matt was the first one to jump in to support you and explain why you need to stay. So Matt is very much on our side. Later on in the evening, Siri says something to Izzy, just a little throwaway conversation. But at one point she mentions, could we switch out Matt for Corey? And is that for the 7 deadly sins? I don't remember, so many alliances, but she's feeling like she's certainly tighter with Matt than she is Corey at this point in time. All right, Jag is later telling Jared and Matt and Blue that Cameron is just trying to drive a wedge between Jag and everyone else in the house at this point in time. He sees what's going on. Now, here's the issue. I can't get a read on Jag. Is Jag saying this to these guys in order to make it seem like he is more solid with Jared and Sari, Izzy, etc., or does he really believe it, or is he saying it just so they'll feel that way because he doesn't want them suspicious that he's going on with Cameron and the other side of the house? I don't know. I don't know where Jag's true loyalties are. I have a feeling it's with Jared and Sari and them, but Cameron's been spending a lot of time trying to convince Jag otherwise, and maybe Jag doesn't know right now either. Maybe he's got some internal conflicts. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days. All right, we've got America and Blue talking to each other. America is saying that she's keeping Izzy. She's just, that's the way she wants to go. I think she's not being serious with America, with Blue. She knows Blue's going to go right back and tell all of this to Jared. So she's saying, yeah, I'm keeping Izzy. Blue had a little comment, and maybe this isn't game related, but I thought it was funny. Blue says, as a viewer, I hate unanimous votes. I can't stand unanimous votes. She said previously that she's either never watched a season of Big Brother, or she only watched maybe one season after she was recruited. So to say that she can't stand unanimous votes, I'm not sure she would have even been able to tell you if there'd been unanimous votes in the past. But Blue's jumping in, talking about it as a Big Brother fan and viewer. She doesn't like those things. I think she really is throwing this out more than anything else just to see if she could get America to bite a little bit and talk about maybe a split vote and who maybe would be voting to send out Izzy. And she's just trying to prod a little bit. America doesn't take the bait, just continue to say, yeah, well, I'm voting for Izzy. I don't know if it'll be unanimous or not, but I know I'm voting to save Izzy. All right, we've got Cameron pitching to Matt now at this point in time. He's saying, look, just remember, Matt, that all it took was Red saying something about Felicia, who was part of that group. All he had to do was say something about Felicia, and he was gone. Yeah, they don't mess around. If you get too close to that group, if you get too threatening, you become target number one on that group. Cameron is proposing a group of Cameron and Matt and Bowie and Corey and Jag and America. So similar to what he's talked about before, he's pitching that to Matt. Of course, Matt immediately after this meeting goes back and tells Sari and Izzy about Matt's proposal for this new group. So Matt's not doing any favors for Cameron or this side of the house. Matt seems very much, at least for now, very much linked to Sari and then everyone who's attached to Sari as well. All right, we've got Izzy and Sari talking about what a threat America is, saying because of that, we know the American Corey on her show, man. So because America is so threatening to us right now, be very careful about the information that you give to Corey, because he'll probably tell America and then, America passes it on. So we've got to be careful about both of them. They're talking about plans for next week if one of them was to win HOH. And the idea is that Jag and America go on the block, then Cameron is backdoored immediately afterwards. Jag's going to love that, right? All this talk about loyalty and everything, and yet he's going to go on the block yet again at the hand of one of his Seven Deadly Sins Alliance members. He'll probably still be loyal to him. All right, we've got America trying to convince Corey to flip and vote out Izzy as well. But Corey's just not ready to pull a trigger. He said a few times, yeah, maybe Izzy needs to go, but not right now. A few more weeks. I can't have it right now. But America's working on Corey, and Corey's saying, look, I'm just worried that the other side's going to come after us if we try to flip and do this. And he says, Jared and I are supposed to be tight and all that. He said, if I flip, how bitter Jared's going to be and how Jared's going to immediately be coming after me. He said, I will be the target right now. He says, I know your position is precarious, that you're already kind of a target. He said, if I make this move, I become a huge target as well. And I just am not sure if I'm ready to do that just yet. All right, we've got later Izzy and Sari come in. And America is saying that America and Corey are talking. Well, then later Sari and Izzy come in, and suddenly America is saying, yeah, Cameron's pitching all of us, but no one's really buying it. We're all just understanding it's Cameron getting ready to head out the door next week and just Hail Marys and all that. No one's buying what he's selling. Yeah, so she changed her tune pretty quickly. With America, with Jag, I said I wasn't really sure which way he's leaning. With America, I'm pretty sure that she's not being truthful when she says no one's buying what Cameron's selling. She sold Cameron as much as anything, I feel like. But yeah, she's telling them that, yeah, no, Cameron, no one's taking him seriously and all that. Yeah, a lot of people maybe are, at least America is. All right, Cameron's telling Bowie at one point that he thinks Jag and Jared are both working with the other side. So he's seeing that maybe it's not as tight as he thinks, and a little tougher to get their votes in than he thinks. We've got Matt and Jag talking to each other, both agreeing that they don't trust America, not to tell her anything, because America is then going to go back over and tell Cameron about it. So again, Jag on the fence a little bit, Matt not so much. The two of them have a final two together. I think through Matt's efforts, if nothing else, he's going to keep Jag reined in. And I just feel like at the end of this thing, they're both going to be voting out of Felicia and voting to save Izzy, which should be enough to keep Izzy in the house. Just my thought at this point in time. All right, we've got Jared and America talking. The two of them are talking. Not real happy. They're back in the comic room. Jared's not real happy with America. He's upset, saying that America was saying that he was coming after her. How dare she say stuff like that? Well, he was saying it. He spent the last few days saying that. But he's upset that she's dared to tell other people that he's coming after her. And he's saying, look, it's not true. He said, if you're good with Corey, then you're good with me. I'm not putting you up as a target. There's no need for me to do that. And then he's trying to spin some stuff. He's saying that back I could have used that veto. I could have used it, but I didn't do it because I was trying to protect Corey, America. And I know you and Corey. And if I'd used that veto, there's a good chance Cameron would have put Corey on the block. Corey would have gone home. And he said, that's why I didn't use a veto. I'm on your side, America. I'm on Corey's side. So don't be going around telling all this stuff that I'm going after you and all that. America's not buying it, but she's not telling him that. All right, we've got Izzy and Siri talking about how much they can't stand Jag. Yeah, not so much a Seven Deadly Sins alliance, is there? Yeah, they're tired of Jag. I think a lot of what they're talking about here is that Jag is, I think Siri says something like, Jag's always on my heels. He's nervous. He's trying to figure out what's going on, where he needs to land. And so he's spending maybe a little too much time asking them questions and following them around because they're a little tired of Jag at this point in time, saying that they just can't stand him at this point. All right, we've got Nicole talking to Felicia. And again, I think Nicole is one of the few that it's going to vote to save Felicia and vote out Izzy. And she's saying that she's telling Felicia that she's going to vote to keep her, and I believe that. And she thinks that Bowie Jane will also. I think Bowie Jane wants to vote out Izzy, wants to save Felicia, but if it comes down to the House voting the other direction, I think Bowie Jane at the end is going to flip her vote. So yeah, she thinks it's both. I'm not sure about Bowie Jane, but I do think that Nicole will go ahead and vote to save Felicia. All right, we've got Jared and Siri and Izzy and Blue are all talking. And again, kind of this core four group to some that Cameron's been talking about, right? So Jared, Siri, Izzy, and Blue are talking. Izzy is feeling good that Corey is going to save Izzy. She's pretty certain that she's in tight enough with Corey that he's going to vote to save her. Jared is saying that he thinks Nicole also will vote to save Izzy. Yeah, not so much Jared. I think that one's going to go the other way. And Jared is also saying that America is saying that she'll vote out Felicia. America may vote out Felicia as well if she doesn't think that there's going to be an opportunity, if the House isn't going to vote to send her out. But otherwise, she would rather have Izzy out. But yeah, Jared's saying America, Nicole, Corey, all of these people are going to vote to save Izzy. All right, we've got Bowie and Jared in the bathroom. Bowie is saying that she isn't sticking her neck out for Cameron at this point in time. He's been pitching to her as well. People think the two of them are together, but she is a free agent. She's not sticking her neck out. And Bowie seeming to get a little upset as she talks to Jared, saying, Cameron's just trying to make me part of the crime scene. He's trying to make it look like he and I are close together, so I have no choice except to work with him. But she's saying, I'm a free agent. I'm not working with him. Just because I talk to him and just because he wants to talk to me doesn't mean that we're talking together. And she gets done with that, and she immediately goes in and talks to Siri and says, look, I just want you to know, I understand what Cameron is trying to do now. I've been thinking about it. I just talked to Jared, and I understand he's trying to pull me in and force me to work with him. And she said, I just don't want y'all to think that's the case, that's what I want to do, that I am a free agent. I'm not voting with him. I don't even, she says, I don't even want to go talk to him anymore. I'm not going to go up into that room anymore with him. I want nothing to do with Cameron at this point in time. And Suri saying, oh, no, you still have to talk to him and everything, but I understand. I appreciate it and all of that. No, we know you're good with us. And we know that you're not with him and blah, 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 blah. They've talked about Bowie Jane a lot behind her back. And so yeah, I'm not buying what Suri is saying at this point in time, but Bowie Jane trying to make sure the other side doesn't link her too close to Cameron at this point in time. All right, we've got Corey and Jag and America talking. Corey is saying that he understands that keeping Izzy is dangerous. That could certainly be an issue, keeping her for too long. But at the same time, he's worried about trying to cut her loose and everything else. He's saying we have to stay solid. Whatever we do, we've got to stay solid. He's talking about the fact that he trusts Matt and Jared. Why do you trust Jared? I don't understand why Corey has this thing with Jared, this connection that just continually seems like it's being tested, and yet the faith continues to seem like it's there. So yeah, Corey, again, he's talking to Jag in America, and he's saying, yeah, Matt and Jared, I'm pretty much certain I can trust them. It's got to make America a little frustrated, right? Corey is saying that they all have people on the other side. He's saying, I got people over there. If I switch sides, they're going to be upset with me. They're going to be coming after me. They're not going to be protecting me anymore either. So I'm worried about that. He does say at this point in time, he's only talking to Jag and America and Matt. He's going to try to avoid talking to the other folks as much as possible. America is saying, look, we are the house targets. Jag, America, and Corey. She's saying the three of us, once Cameron's gone, we are the targets. Don't be thinking it's anyone else. We are the ones that the other side's going to come after, and we have to respond accordingly. Corey is talking about, again, this Izzy versus Felicia vote. He's saying, yes, I understand that Izzy's more dangerous, but he's saying, I also feel like I can work with Izzy more than Felicia. That I've got a tighter connection with her, that I can get information, I can get protection from her. Even if she's a better player, I feel like I also can work with her a little bit more. And America just, at this point, just literally, or no, maybe not literally, but she's kind of throwing up her hands saying, you know what? She's like, I just don't want y'all to think about this. She says, when Izzy wins this whole thing at the end, when she's walking out as Big Brother season 25 winner, she said, I want y'all to recall this conversation where I tried to get y'all to understand how dangerous Izzy is, and y'all didn't buy into it. I just want y'all to remember this conversation. So she understands where this thing could end if they aren't careful, if they don't do the right things at this point in time. All right, eventually we have Matt joining this group of three. They start talking a little bit. Corey is saying that, look, we need to make sure whatever we do, we need to make sure that we cover our tail, that we don't throw each other under the bus to either side, that we four need to watch out for each other. And with that, we have, well, let's call it, because we haven't done it in a while, we've got another alliance formed. And I'm not sure this is an alliance saying we're going to take each other to the end. We have shared goals, objectives. Nah, none of that. The most basic type of alliance of these four people saying, we're just going to make a commitment to each other that if any of us win HOH, we're not putting the other three people on the block. It's a protection alliance. Beyond that, who knows what happens? We'll see how we go. But for right now, these four are going to work together and make sure that they don't put each other up on the block, that if any one of them wins HOH, the others are safe no matter what. I like that. I think it's a great idea. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition, but we do have an alliance formed. I'll go ahead and call it right now. And then later we've got Jag talking to Matt and saying that Jared and Siri, he thinks they're a lot tighter than they have thought previously. Is Jag getting it? Is he starting to pick up on this? Has it taken 24 hours of having all this revealed to him, but he's starting to see the other side, the writing on the wall? Yes, I think Jared and Siri are a little bit tighter than you think. And props to you for figuring out now. Here's to some wishful thinking that you figure the rest of it out as well, and we can see what happens after the fact. But yeah, he's telling Jag, saying they're tight. No matter what kind of connections we have, their connection is tighter. All right, finally later, we've got it's Matt and Jag just talking on their own. And again, Jag seems to have figured it out. He's telling, continuing the previous comments and everything, he's telling Matt, said, look, Siri is covering her tail section in every direction. Everywhere she turns, she's got people watching out for her. She's very well insulated. She's very well protected. Now, here's the thing. He's telling Matt this. Is Matt going to tell Siri this? Matt and Jag have a final two. They seem to be best buds, bromance dates at midnight and all of that. But Matt's also tight with Suri. I kind of think he won't tell Suri. If he does, then that's a dangerous situation for Jag. I hope he doesn't say it, but yeah, Jag's saying Suri has a lot more protection even than I realized beforehand. And Matt's responding back saying, "Well, if that's the case, why not get out Izzy? Why don't we go after Izzy and get her out the door and get rid of some of that protection?" And Jared then, Jag then at that point says, "Well, I get it, but I'm not sure if Izzy is really working with and part of Suri and Jared." So just when I think Jag's figuring it out, he shows me that maybe he isn't so far. Izzy is very tight with Jared and Suri, but Jag's just not seeing it at this point in time, wondering if maybe there's not that tight connection, and that's why maybe they wouldn't be so worried about getting out Izzy. He's not thinking they're close. Yeah, Jag, they're very close with each other. And then finally we got Jag saying that if he wins HOH, he's going to put up Nicole and Bowie as his targets, which are the most kind of unimportant. What's the right word? Not a huge impact into the game if he's putting up Bowie Jane and Nicole. So I don't know if Jag is just still trying to very much play the middle. He's not ready to make a commitment. Now, there's nothing wrong with not saying who you're going to put up when you win HOH until you win HOH, because otherwise you're just throwing out names that could come back and haunt you. So maybe he's just wanting to make sure that he doesn't throw anything out that Matt can go tell someone and create issues for him. I hope if Jag wins an HOH that it's not a Nicole Bowie Jane nomination on the block, because that'd be for kind of a boring week, right? But we will find out. So there you have it, guys. So again, gut feel is that Felicia is still going home. Nicole probably votes to save her, and that may just be about it. And we shall see. But again, it's Wednesday. We've got another 36 hours, so we'll find out what happens between now and eviction night. Lots of talk about what HOH is going to be. They think it's going to be the wall comp. Possible, maybe a little early in the season, but I think it's within the realm of possibility. That would be fun, because I've heard a lot of people saying that they will stay up there until their arms break off. There's no way they're dropping from that wall. I was on the wall. It's harder than you think, guys. But hey, go for it. Give it everything you got, and we'll see who wins HOH. And it may not even be that. We will find out Thursday night. But until then, guys, y'all have a great Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning, eviction day, to talk about last minute campaigning, see if this house is going to flip one way or the other. But until then, have a great one. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.